Ooh, here's a name I can say from the Eradicator.
Hello and welcome to this channel, everybody. This is the Eradicator, and we have 384,000 Alpha UEC. As you can see, this is the replay of the live stream that I did yesterday. It was a 2 hours long live stream, so a pretty long live stream, as you can imagine. And in this live stream, I was showing you guys how much money we could make on average per hour by trading around Hurston and R-Corp. This was of course done with a Starfarer. So of course don't forget to always check out if there are any available missions that you can take between the different planets. As you can see, the price that the money that you can get is almost 9,000 Alpha UEC. So this can basically represent up to 15% of the overall profit you would make between one place to another. So this is very important. We are of course here at Hurston, and so we are going to go inside our little Starfarer here. We are leaving Hurston empty, unfortunately, because the only thing that they're selling here is scrap, and we don't really want to sell scrap because they're the only places where we can sell scrap. The rest, no, not the rest stops, are Port Olisar or I think Levski as well, if I'm correct. And it's scrap is okay if you have a large ship and not a lot of money. You can make some decent profit, but as soon as you have enough money, it's just a waste of time. You want to go for more valuable commodities, such as Laranite, for example, which is what we're going to check out today. Now, of course, taking off is always a little bit complicated, especially that ship. The Starfarer is a pretty heavy ship. It really takes some time. Now, as you can also see, I have about 91% of fuel, but I decided not to refuel now. I will take a little bit longer. It takes a long time to refuel, so it's usually best to claim your ship when you finish your day and you got rid of your cargo. And as you can see, the Starfarer is a beast, and it is also very slow. So this is something that you need to take under consideration if you are flying the Starfarer. That thing is really slow. Speaking of slowness, yeah, leaving the atmosphere at Hurston really takes a lot of time. When you take off and leave the atmosphere, by the time you enter content travel, it takes you about 10 to 12 minutes. So that is what I think is the most time consuming. But anyway, our first destination here is going to be Ariel. Ariel has a very nice outpost there called HDMS, Hurston Dynamics Mining Station. Bezdek. So that's where you want to go, guys. This is the place where they are going to sell the most interesting commodities that are going to allow you to make the best profit for trading. Now, of course, we are going to enter away, control drive. I use the mobiGlas a little bit, and here we go. Of course, when you are on Ariel, there's a very thick haze, so it's very difficult to know exactly where you are going. Just make sure that you control your speed. Don't go above 150 meters per second, and also try to make sure that your altitude is correct, because you want to really make a smooth approach. If you are a bit too high in altitude, then you won't be able to see the pads. The visibility with the Starfarer, or most of the MISC ships actually, is pretty bad. MISC is not a very famous manufacturer for ship visibility, unfortunately. So this is something that you need to take under consideration. Of course, you can always use the third-person view. Personally, this is not something that I really enjoy doing. I prefer to be in first-person mode like this for immersion purposes. I just love being immersed and feel like this is the real thing, Let's get a little bit closer. As you can see, we are going now. We're in vital mode, of course, and so we are going to make sure that our approach is perfect as we are about to land here on Hurston Dynamics Mining Station Bezdek. So look at that, a perfect little alignment. And as soon as we will just go straight dead ahead. I will try to show you some of those landings as much as I can, because I think that these are some of the highlights of the live streams. Of course, landing is, in my opinion, very satisfactory when they are well done. You can see that little arrow that points towards that points down. This is where the indicator tells you where the pad is located. So I think it's a little bit on the side. I'm gonna change, gonna go down. Oh, actually that should be okay. All right, let's not forget to press I to turn off the engines, and we should be good for trading. So we're going inside, and as you can see, we are buying a mix of laranite and titanium. Because simply, if I want to buy all the laranite, I don't have enough cash yet. I only have 384,000 alpha UEC, so that's not gonna work at all. So to optimize the profit that I'm going to make as much as possible, I'm gonna have to do a split. So I'm going to split laranite and titanium at the same time. All right, and so the rest is going to be titanium. You can see even by doing so, I still don't have enough money. That's fine. The ship is almost filled. We just filled 273 SCU of cargo capacity out of 291, so it is almost complete. Yep, just 2 alpha UEC, but that's okay. Let's get back into our ship. Of course, a lot of you guys are calling the Starfarer an FPS level, and you are not entirely wrong. Unfortunately, it's true that this ship is pretty massive. I just love to have a look at all of these cargo boxes inside. I cannot wait till the day I finally have a caterpillar. I don't know if this is something that's going to come or not. Anyway, let's come on. Let's get back to the deck, and we'll be making a takeoff. Taking off very easy. Just make sure that you point the nose of your ship as high as possible. Press Shift and backspace at the same time, and then your ship is going to pick up speed. That's how you get rid of the VTOL mode. And then we'll be making our way to Quantum Drive, all the way to our corp. One of the great things about the Starfarer is that it is a very fast ship when you are quantum traveling. It just takes a couple of minutes from Hurston to our corp, so it is really something that can be considered as a result, since it doesn't take that long to get there. Don't forget to bring back full power to your engines when you are about to arrive at the station, because especially with these bigger ships, you are going to need that. All right, here we go, our corp. Wonderful. This planet is so massive. This is like one of the most impressive sights in the verse right now. I can't wait for 3.8 and Microtech, but in the meantime, I'm really enjoying traveling between Hurston and Arcorp. Very satisfactory. Anyway, we are making our approach now. We are at Area 18, and you can see that the hangar is located on the left side here. I was a little bit too centered towards it. I want to make a nice approach. Again, it's all about your approaches. So what I'm going to do is I am going to go around that Area 18 tower. That is more like the spaceport tower that tells us that we are Area 18. I'll go around it, and I think that the ship should be a little bit better aligned. Of course, there's a lot of pressure in there because that's almost 400,000 alpha UEC worth of cargo. That's in my hull. It's all of the money that I have. I only have 2 alpha UECs left, so I definitely better not want to crash my ship, because that would be most unfortunate. So again, make sure you don't have your cruise control. If you have your cruise control, this is where your ship would eventually spin out of control. So I am controlling my speed manually by pressing WASD. You need to make sure, of course, that your alignment is as close as possible to 0. It's really not easy to see your alignment when it's daytime because of how bright all of that is. But eventually we'll be able to make it. Look at that, we're a little bit close, and that's where I realized that, oh no, my ship is not properly aligned. Normally I don't really enjoy using a third-person view, but I suppose that this is the only case in which, you know, we don't really have a choice right now, right? So we are just going to try to align the ship properly. There we go. And as soon as it is, just make sure it is perfectly perpendicular, and as soon as it is, just press Control key gently, just like that. And then when you are getting a little bit close, press I. Engines are off, and that is a successful landing. So of course we'll be going to Artcorp. I'll have to go take the metro, go through all of these stations. And oh my goodness, what is happening? Why is this guy floating in the air? Anyway, we are going to go to the TDD office, which is basically the place, the main trading center of Area 18. You have a lot of these consoles out there where they are going to where they are going to buy everything. Lots of NPCs already doing their stuff. This is, of course, nothing. They're not doing anything, but in the future, they are going to. It's just a little demo about what's going to happen in the future. All right, here we go. Here's our Starfarer. Remember, we started with 384 Alpha UEC. I've been playing for about an hour here, and so after an hour, we moved from 384,000 Alpha UEC to, drum rolls, to, come on, let's process the order. It's a little bit slow. All right, to 461. So as you can see, we almost made 80,000 Alpha UECs in just an hour. And you know what, guys? We are going to repeat that. We're going to take our Starfarer again, and we are going to go this time probably either Lyria or Wella, and then we'll go back to Hurston. So you can do this back and forth. Of course, you can just stay around. Let's say you are at Hurston. You can just stay around the moons of Hurston if you want. But then there's a problem if you do that. And let me tell you what the problem is. If you stay around, or if you always stay around at the same places, eventually the resources will dry. The outposts will not have enough time to refill, and the resources will dry. So this is not something that you actually want. You want your trade to be sustainable. So that's why I believe it's actually a better idea to go back and forth, Arcorp, Lorville, Arcorp, back and forth. So if you always go to Bezdek, eventually Bezdek will run out of materials. So you're going to have to go somewhere else. So that's why I'm doing this here. In the past, I used to go to the same station all the time. I used to always go to Arcorp Mining Station 45 all the way back to Area 18, back and forth. Eventually, Arcorp Mining Area 45 didn't have anything to sell. So that was unfortunate, I should say. So that's why I'm doing all of that. Let's have a look at our little Starfarer. Is of course a way of saying it. It is indeed very massive. By the way, it is actually much cheaper to run than an 890 jump. Because I just refilled my Starfarer here, and to refill about 10%, this cost me 7,000 Alpha UEC. So probably to refill entirely the Starfarer, this should cost about 70,000 Alpha UEC, but if you want to entirely refuel a 990 jump, that is going to cost you 234,000 Alpha UEC, so that is really a lot of money. Anyway, let's get out of here and let's see where we are going to go. We are probably going to go to one of the moons of Hurston. We're going to go to Lyria, and Lyria has a very interesting station there. In my opinion, the best station would be Shubin Mining Facility SAL2, which is where we're going to buy again Laranite and Titanium. So both Lorville and Area 18 really love Laranite and Titanium, so you can buy as much as you can, and you're going to sell them to those places without any waiting time, and that's what I like. A lot of people would say, but Irad, if you go to Paul Olizar, to some of the moons of Crusaders back and forth, yeah, sure, but Paul Olizar doesn't have an unlimited amount of supplies they're going to buy. You can be stuck at Port Olizar for several days because they're not buying your stuff. Whereas if you sell your stuff at Area 18 or at Lorville, they are going to insta-buy everything. So that's why we are doing this, guys. Anyway, we are making our approach once again. As you can see, I have a mission marker this time, and that's because you always want to make sure that you are doing missions. Missions first give you a mission marker, which is very nice, but missions also can give you an extra income when they are working, of course. And that is the problem, of course. Those missions are not always working, and unfortunately in the server in which I was, that was the case. Mission boxes were falling through the ship, and that's why I did not make as much money as I should have had made. Normally, I made about 80,000 Alpha UEC. I should have been a bit closer to 90 with boxes, but that's okay. It's secondary. Another perfect landing, as you can see. So we are going inside the station, and we're gonna buy whatever they're gonna sell here. Let's go. Let's have a look at the trade terminal. Hello. Buy. The light is really in my face. We're going to buy agricium and titanium. Maximum available stock. So as you can see, it is running a little bit dry, but that's okay. They have a lot of titanium. Titanium turns out to have a better profit margin than agricium. You're only making 13% out of your money for agricium, but you are making 20% for titanium. So that's why it's an interesting commodity to use. Anyway, we are back in Quantum Travel, and we are going to go this time back to Hurston again. So we're gonna find Lorville. All right, there it is. This is where our delivery is supposed to be, even though the shipment is still at Lyria because it fell through the ship, unfortunately. There's our restricted area. We are arriving at Lorville at twilight, which is great because that means the UI is going to be a little bit more visible, but we are really close from Tisa spaceport, at least in terms of distance, not in altitude but in distance. You know, if you're just looking at a 2D axis, we're pretty close. So I have to make sure that I'm actually descending faster than I am approaching. This is a little bit tricky, but as you can see, I'm placing my Starfarer just above the no-fly zone. I know it's a little bit dangerous, but I think that once we get a little bit closer to the pads, this is more comfortable, and it is going to allow me to use the third-person view less. I really want to use the third-person view as least as possible. And so we can see our hangar, which is not that tiny little hangar you see, it's that massive big rectangle because we have a Starfire. It's one of the biggest ships of the verse right now. Oh my goodness, what's happening? Did I go inside the no-fly zone? Yes, very temporarily, but yes, I did. Anyway, now this is time to do some extra maneuvers. We're turning the ship around, and as soon as we will be perfectly aligned, we will go inside once again. All right, all using that VTOL mode. You need some practice, guys, with the VTOL mode. You see, my alignment is perfectly to 0, but as soon as you are in a hangar, you don't have that anymore. So just have faith. Just keep on pressing Control and eventually I to shut down the engines. If you shut down the engines, you automatically fall to the ground. But you need to make sure you don't do that too early, otherwise the fall will be too strong and you may damage your ship or even destroy it, depending on how strong it is. Anyway, we finally arrived at Lorville, so this is wonderful. We'll be taking the metro all the way to the CBD. And once we are at the CBD, the Central Business District of Lorville, we will be selling our cargo once again. This has been already 2 hours, so it will be interesting to see how much money I made in 2 hours. So here we go. Let's sell all of that cargo right here under the eyes of Constantine Hurston. So let's sell, select the location. There it is, the Starfarer at Grisham. Let's sell everything. Everything for 137,000 Alpha UEC. Yes, very good. No. Got it. What do I realize? No thanks. Oh, because I wanted to see how much. Yeah, eventually. So what I do, I try to update the prices on galog.co as well. So that's why I wanted to make sure I knew how much they were buying it for. And we're going to sell all that titanium again. It's quite a big chunk of money for 214,000 Alpha UEC. And we're going to see how much we have at the end. 529,000 Alpha UEC. That means we made 139,000 Alpha UEC, guys. That is almost 80,000 Alpha UEC per hour. So as you can see, pretty interesting, pretty profitable to trade with a Starfarer. It takes time, but because of its large cargo hold, the payoff is comparable to what you would do with, let's say, a Freelancer Max, for example. So I hope you enjoyed this video. The next video is going to be with the Freelancer Max. So we are going to compare in 2 hours how much money we'll make with the Freelancer Max. So stay tuned. I'll see you guys tomorrow for the next videos. This is the Eradicator. I'm signing out. This month, I have a giveaway. I am giving away a Tumblr Ranger CV with lifetime insurance. This is the perfect space motorcycle if you want to do delivery missions on planet sides. All you need to do to get a chance of winning is to be a subscriber and to comment to any videos posted this month. Only visible comments will be counted, so please don't spam. The winner will be announced early September. Also, a big thanks to the Patreons who are helping me on a monthly basis. You guys are absolutely awesome. Couldn't make all this content without you guys. Thank you so much for your support. If you want to support the channel further down, the link in the description down below. A big thanks to the people who helped with getting this new PC. This footage was could not have been done without them. So you guys are awesome. Thank you so much. And that's all for this video. Once again, thank you so much. I think that's the. I think we have actually. I decided to change the order of the videos, so I will put the leaks video later. Thank you so much for watching. This is the Eradicator. I'm signing out.